Anyway, Chunga, my friends. Chunga, Chunga, my friends. Chunga. Welcome to the madness of my mind. It is I. That cough always comes on when I do a video. Doesn't you notice that? Always comes on when I do a video. 2 seconds. Genesis. Ooh. Yes, Nemesis from a theme park in the UK. Yes. Anyway, Chunga, my friend. Welcome. It is I. It is I. Rev the Rev. I ain't no vicar. Honestly, I'm not. Honestly, I am no vicar. I'm not even a monk. I'm not a Robin Hood with hooded man. Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And as I begin the show, if you enjoy the show, please hit the thumbs up button. So it's always nice to know when people like my show. Or you can leave a comment. Comment. And if you haven't done so already, and you'd like to see some more of my maddening stuff, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know when stuff is coming out, you want to be told, oh God, crying out loud. I was fine. I'm not even coughing all day. I do a show and I start coughing. Oh, blimmin' hell. Oh, yeah. Anyway, if you want to know when stuff is coming out, just ring that bell and it'll let you know when stuff's coming out. So, me. Yeah. 2 seconds. I'm going to just clear my throat because I think I've got something in my throat. So, live on TV. Tell it's live, can't you? Ooh, yes, Mrs. Nothing squashed, nothing, nothing. Anyway, where was I? Yes. Yes. It's I, Trev Rev, I ain't no vicar. Welcome to the show. Before I get into the hardcore joke, I want to tell you a little thing about our cat. You see, did you know our cat Gizmo, you won't see on camera because he's outside. Our cat can speak English. He came up to me the other day. And he went, Dad. I went, what? He went, Dad. I went, what? I went, Dad. I went, what? And he went, you know I can speak English. You know I can do an impression of a car. And I went, you what? And he went, yeah, look, meow. And I went, really? Really, Giz? And he went, yeah, not just that, Dad. He says, I can do an impression of a police car as well. I went, you what? And he went, yeah, meow, meow, meow. And I was crying out loud. Then I thought, someone come up to me the other day. I told them about those things, and they said, "How come your cat can speak English?" And I said, "He speaks English." And they said, "Well, when did all this start?" And I said, "Well, it happened about 2 weeks ago because I was coming from work 2 weeks ago, and I sort of left my keys at home, so I couldn't get in the house. And I looked for the letterbox, and I saw, the letterbox. I saw Giz looking at me. He was looking at me. He was. I looked at him and I went, Giz, can you open the door for us? And he looked me right in the eyes and he went, me how? Meow, 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 meow. I know. Let's get to some proper jokes. Oh, yes, Mrs. So, late one night, a man's driving down the road, speeding quite a bit. A cop notices how fast he's going and pulls him over. And no, the cop car wasn't going meow, meow, meow. He says to the bloke, "Are you aware of how fast you were going?" And the man replied, "Yes, I am. I'm trying to escape a robbery I got involved in." The cop gives him this sceptical look. "Were you the one being robbed?" "No, I committed the robbery myself." Looked shocked. The man admitted this. "So you're telling me you were speeding and committed a robbery?" "Yes," the man calmly says. "I have the loot in the bag." The cop begins to get angry. "Sir, I'm afraid you have to come with me." The cop reaches into the window to subdue the man. "Don't do that," the man yelled. "I'm scared you'll find the gun in my glove compartment." The cop pulls his hand out. "Wait here," he says. The cop calls for backup. Soon other cops, cars and helicopters are flooding the area. The man is cuffed quickly and taken towards a car. However, before he gets in, a cop walks up to him and says, whilst gesturing to the cop who pulled him over, "Sir, this officer informed us that you have committed a robbery, had stolen loot in the trunk of your car, and have a loaded gun in your glove compartment. However, we found none of these things in your car." "Yes," the man replied. "I bet that liar said I was speeding too." Bum. That's Professor John. He's having problems with his sink, so he calls a plumber. The plumber comes over and quickly fixes the sink. The plumber is happy until he gets the bill. He tells the plumber, "How can you charge this much? This is half of my paycheck." But he pays it anyway. The plumber tells him, "Hey, we're looking for more plumbers. You can become a plumber and triple your salary. Just make sure you say that only made it in the 6th grade. They don't like educated people." The professor takes him up on the offer and becomes a plumber. His salary triples and he doesn't have to work nearly as hard. But the company makes an announcement that all of their plumbers must go for a 7th grade education, so they all go to night school. On the first day of night school, they all attend math class. The teacher wants to gauge the class, so he asks John, "What is the formula for the area of a circle?" John walks up to the board and is about to write the formula when he realizes he has forgotten it. So he begins to attempt to derive the formula, filling the board with complicated mathematics. He ends up figuring out He ends up that is negative pi times radius squared. He thinks the minus doesn't belong, so he starts over. Again, he comes up with the same equation. After staring at the board for a minute, he looks at the other plumbers and sees they are all whispering. Switch the limits on the integral. Yeah, I just read that. I thought I got that, but I didn't. If you get the line, let me know. I'd like to know. Anyway, this is the last one. A man brought a golden ring for his blind wife at night. "I bought something for you. You might like it," the man said. "What is it, honey?" his wife asked. "It's the golden ring," the man replied. "Oh, sounds good. Can I wear it now?" the wife asked. "Sure, it's yours," the man said. He took it from the box, but it fell. He crawled and searched for the ring, but something told him the ring was not around in the area. So he sprinted outside where the street lights were, and he started to do the same thing. A moment later, Mr. Mullard, the man's neighbour, was walking down the street when he saw the man crawling. "Are you trying to find something, Daniel?" Mr. Mullard asked. "Oh, yes, I'm finding the golden ring," Daniel replied. "Where did you lose it?" Mr. Mullard asked. A wrong voice. "I lost it at home," Daniel replied. "So why don't you find it at home then?" Mr. Mullard asked. "Well, there are no lights in my house, and it's really dark," Daniel replied. "You lost that ring in your house, so you'll probably find it around somewhere where you lost it," Mr. Mullard said. "You know, my eyes don't work very well, and the doctor told me not to search anything in the dark, whether it's really important or not. I'll knock my head again if I don't listen to him. I can't believe it. He was right. He'll be proud of me if I tell him what I did now, Daniel cries. I know. These jokes just get worse, don't they? These jokes honestly, they just get worse. Worse. Now, before I go any further, I do need to apologise for this video. Yeah, because this video was supposed to go out last week, but I had problems with the PC last week. I wasn't able to do it, so I do apologise. But it doesn't mean I'll skip a week. I do. I'm sorry, so sorry about what I don't know. Anyway, it's time. It's time to talk about the Hollow Earth theory. Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? We'll begin. Hollow Earth is a concept proposing that the planet Earth is entirely hollow or contains a substantial interior space. Notably suggested by Edmund Halley in the late 17th century. I'm really tripping over words here. Blah, blah, blah. The notion was disproved. First tentatively by Pierre Bouguereau in 1740, then definitely by Charles Hutton in his Chewilling, I'm going to try and pronounce that word, experiment around 1774. Raw madness. Ooh. Now, the Earth is hollow. It's not. The Earth is hollow, God exists, and we're surrounded by reptilian people. It gets weirder. The Hollow Earth theory has been described as a mother of all conspiracy theories. Yes. Now, at first glance, the theory really, more than hypnosis, sounds laughably silly. It does. We know the Earth is not hollow. It's got a big core in the middle, not hollow. So you ask yourself, what is the Earth hollow conspiracy theory? Hollow Earth conspiracy theories, I'm tripping over these words, whole truth. Whole truth. For centuries, Hollow Earth conspiracy theorists have tried to prove that there's a whole other world beneath our own. But first they need to find a way in. Late at night on October the 4th, 2002, a strange guest appeared on a cult American radio show. In 1818, John Clee Sims Jr. published his circular number 1, Earth Circle, declaring to the world that the Earth is hollow. Sims, a veteran of the War of 1812, an unsuccessful trader, soon became the most famous and successful proponent of the Hollow Earth theory. Now, theory. Spiritualist writer Walburga, Lady Page, in her book Colossus, with an unseen friend, was an early writer to mention the Hollow Earth hypnosis. She claimed that cities exist beneath the desert, which is where the people of Atlantis moved. Now, is the theory logical? Hollow Earth theory sounds like science fiction and is also presented as such, but some of history's greatest scientists have ascribed to it. At one point, it seemed downright logical. Possibly the first person to scientifically speculate about Hollow Earth was none other than Edmund Halley of Halley's Comet fame. And now we're going to go with the theories. Number 1. They believe there's a sun inside the Earth. Let's start with a simpler belief. The Earth is hollow and not empty. In fact, there's an entire civilization living at the centre of the planet, and members of that civilization need an energy source. Conveniently, there's a sun under the Earth's crust. That inner sun is actually what causes global warming, and the aurora borealis otherwise known as the northern lights, are merely rays of light escaping from the inner sun. At first glance, theory, really more of a hypnosis, seems laughably silly. The Earth, according to the Earth theory, is completely hollow, and there's an entire civilization living out the core. There's a massive government conspiracy to stop people from finding out the truth. That conspiracy is hemmed by the most powerful people in the world, who also happen to be lizards. Now, we can explain why this ridiculous starting point from a scientific point of view. That's played out. Instead, let's look at what Hollow Earth supporters actually believe, and why some of their ideas aren't so far-fetched. If you actually approach their beliefs with an open mind, you can start to understand why this theory has attracted so many people. Humans were created by reptilian aliens. Those aliens are either known as Anunnaki or just reptilians. If you're looking for something less formal, they created humans as a sort of science experiment, but now they feed on our babies. Kentucky Fried Babies. No, that wasn't a joke. Sorry, I should have said that. Oh, no. As one believer's website notes, we live in a reptilian world. We need to eat, and we are part of that system. Some believers say that that's why institutions like the Catholic Church promote human propagation to such an extent. Others say that reptilians are living amongst us with highly advanced flesh masks to make them look like world leaders. We heard it from there. The President of America is a reptilian, just like Boris Johnson in English Prime Minister. Ooh. So why haven't we noticed our reptilian overlords? Some say that we have. Most UFO sightings are actually just reptilian sightings. However, there are other explanations. Reptilians have indoctrinated you so thoroughly that you are probably too weak-minded to even fathom that they exist, says the Anunnaki Harsh, for one theory. Reptilians aren't the only beings living at the Earth's core. There's also a race of giants, and sometimes they start in wrestling rings. To believe from a much bigger genetic experiment. Maybe something involving beanstalks and Germans. Wait, what? Germans? Germans did make it to Hollow Earth. One theorist writes, they made a deal with the people in the Hollow Earth. Well, that doesn't really explain anything. It's not clear what the Germans had to offer. But the regraining hypnosis is that Adolf Hitler is hanging out near the centre of the planet, presumably swapping stories with giants and reptilians over a cold mug of human juice. Yes, human juice is a thing amongst Hollow Earth believers. The inner part of this planet also has many other humanoid creatures, some of whom aren't aware of outer Earth. And some of these creatures live to the age of 1,700. Why? Well, there aren't any dangerous toxins in the inner Earth. Oh, and there's the herds of woolly mammoths. Actually, other than Hitler, this inner Earth stuff sounds pretty fun. Now, some people have actually been to the inner Earth. Now, for the obvious question, if the Hollow Earth theory is legitimate, why hadn't anyone stumbled into the inner Earth? Well, according to some conspiracy theorists, some unwitting adventurers have done just that. Unfortunately, the world's government have covered up these expeditions. First known expedition was in 1943 when a German sailor named Karl Unger allegedly took a U-boat into the Earth's hollow core. There, he met an ancient civilization on Rainbow Island. And that's something out of Super Mario World, doesn't it? And look, we know that this, it sounds like a plot of a Super Mario game. Did I just say that? I just said that. Hey. Just stay with us for a second. After Unger, there was Admiral Richard Byrd, a pioneering American naval officer, an aviator. A document reportedly written by Byrd tells of a strange trip in which he lost control of his aeroplane. The craft was guided as if by magic. Daniels. What? Through a mountainous region towards a magnificent city pulsating with rainbow hues of colour. There, he was ostensibly confronted by a member of an alien civilization. We have let you enter here because you are of noble character and well known on the surface world, Admiral, the alien said. Of course, we have no reason to believe that the diary is legitimate, but its fantastic account is one of the cornerstones of the Hollow Earth theory, and it's certainly an interesting read. There are three openings leading from the Earth out to the surface to the inner surface. Two are near the poles, while one's in the Himalayan mountains. It's important to note that for Hollow Earth theories, there are no true North or South Pole. In their place are polar openings that lead into inner Earth. Anyone en route to a polar opening is eventually stopped. Outer Earth guardsmen reads one site. If a person's able to get to one of these entrances, the guards will prevent their entrance. Presumably by asking them nicely to leave. Please leave. However, in some cases, the guards slip up, and the civilization within the Earth and a person worthy for entrance. We're looking at you, Admiral Byrd. In some cases, people stay for quite a while. One popular Hollow Earth document tells of an unnamed man who lived for a year with the giants of the inner Earth. The man wrote about that experience, although his account mainly focuses on the size of the giants. My gigantic friends brought me home to his family, and I was completely dismayed to see a huge size of the objects in his home, and writes, the dinner table was colossal. A plate was put before me and filled with a portion of food so big it would have fed me abundantly for an entire week. The giant offered me a cluster of grapes, and each grape was as big as one of our peaches. We get it. Giants are big. Not exactly groundbreaking stuff here. Oh, you thought the theory ended at the surface of a planet? Think again. Many Hollow Earth believes in concave Hollow Earths, otherwise known as sky-centrism. Hypnosis says that we're inside a hollow world, and it stands to reason there are additional hollow worlds within our own. By using specialized equipment, they believe that they can prove this idea by studying coastlines around the world. In a sense, they're right. Hold on, other Hollow Earthers. Don't start cracking over the human juice to celebrate just yet, though. Some physicists note that the universe could indeed be a concave, but we wouldn't necessarily consider that to mean that we're in an inner Earth. The takeaway is that complex concepts of our world aren't easy to express with a word. So you have to use a few logical tricks to make sky-centrism work with modern science. Still, theory is popular, and there's even evidence that Hitler believed in it. No wonder reptilians let him into the centre. Now, did you know the town of Hamilton, Ohio, actually recognises the Hollow Earth theory? Honestly, there's a Hollow Earth monument in the town's Ludlow Park, dedicated to the memory of John Sims. Sims was a lecturer in the 1800s, and he believed that the planet was hollow. Although he didn't say anything about reptilians or mammoths or their inner suns, instead he believed that a hollow core would explain some of the puzzling magnetic fields that scientists at the time had noticed. Sims also believed that there was a large shaft on each side of the planet, which may have inspired the modern Hollow Earthers. The insistence on a limited number of entry points to the inner planet. Oh, he does that on purpose. They're called sim holes, for obvious reasons. Some Hollow Earth believers point to a Hamilton monument as a sign that their views are catching on. In reality, it's just a tribute to the misguided lecturer. So it's a good example of how this theory has stuck around centuries, regardless of logic or science or scientific support. For the Hollow Earth theories, many believers, it's just good to be true, even if the evidence is ultimately quite hollow. I know that was bad. I know. So there you go. That is the thesis on the Hollow Earth theory. Do you think it's hollow? Do you not think it's hollow? I don't personally think it's hollow. I do believe there are some very, very deep caverns under our Earth that hasn't been discovered yet. And some of these caverns could be under the ice at Antarctica or Arctic. But I don't believe there's a hollow Earth with a sun in the middle. I personally, that's my belief. You come to your own decisions. So, right, next week, we are talking about the spaceship moon hypnosis. Hypnosis. That's what we're doing next week. So, please tune in next week. See that. And as I said before, if you've enjoyed the show, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already and you'd like to see some more of my stuff, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when stuff is coming out, just ring that bell. And the most important thing you can do, tell your friends about the show. It is I, Trev the Rev, in the 8 No Vicar signing off. Until next time, bye bye.